Hi, everyone. I've got Kathie Thomas with us here from, is it Melbourne you're from, Kathie?
Yes, that's correct, Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, Australia, all the way from Australia. I love the fact that we can connect this way. I mean, Kathie has been here to visit me. She did a road trip to Canada, a flight trip to Canada at one point, and I got the pleasure of meeting her in person, which was a real honor. Thank you for hanging out with me for a bit there, Kathie. But even just to get onto Facebook Live or this type of environment with uh, other fabulous leaders in the VA industry, it's really cool considering you're, what is it, 8:45 in the morning there for you?
Oh, 7:45. Yeah, I got up about three-quarters of an hour ago.
Well, you that's great because I don't know if I could get up that early and be ready for Facebook Live. So thanks so much. If any of you don't know who Kathie is, she is the virtual assistant queen. And I'm just going to read her bio off here because it's really awesome to get to know each of our speakers that are going to be at our event here coming up. She's the founder of Australia's, let me pull this over so at least makes it look like I'm looking at you. So Kathie, she's the virtual assistant queen. She's founder of Australia's first virtual assistant network in 1996. She registered her own business, A. Clayton Secretary, in 1994. She's a virtual assistant coach and trainer and has trained and mentored many VAs during the life of her business. Additionally, she is an award-winning author and is many times published in business and women's magazines. Kathie was twice nominated for Australian of the Year, what an honor, in 2008 and 9, and she's listed in Australia's Who's Who of Women, 2010 to 2018. I'm really excited to have Kathie here with us. You can find all her information at kathiethomas.com. Is that correct, Kathie? Would that be a good URL to give them to get to know you better?
That's one of my websites. I actually own several websites, so that's a good one because that actually directs people off to everything else that I do.
That's what I was thinking. And she has the VA directory.com, no, .net.
Yep.
And yeah, so if you want to learn more about her, you can there. And I'm happy she's here today. She's going to be speaking with us on WordPress workflows, how to quickly set up your website. And Kathie, I mean, you were one of the first VAs that I ever started following in the years back because you were one of the only ones out there, right? Never
Yeah.
knowing that, I'd ever get to meet you or ever doing Facebook Lives and stuff with you, because how long was that ago? That was, well, you started earlier than me, so that would have been 97, 98 that I hunted you down at some point. And yeah, amazing stuff. But whatever got you started in, well, websites probably in the beginning and then further along into WordPress?
Well, yeah, I've had a really interesting journey. I feel very, very blessed. For those who don't know me, I originally chose to work from home because I had 5 young daughters and trying to manage them, and also, trying to go to work and, all, school holidays and kids being sick, all those things. I'm sure anybody who's listening who is a mother will fully understand that. And when I originally started, the VA industry didn't even exist. The internet actually wasn't even in operation. So I started off as a home-based secretary and then got on the internet a couple of years after I started my business. And I actually built my very first website in 1996. So I got online in January 96. In April 96, I decided I needed to have a web presence. Now, I didn't know anybody really on the internet much. I was just starting to feel my way around and found some discussion groups. Not a lot of people had websites back then. I had read that I could do it with Microsoft Publisher. Can you believe that? With Microsoft Publisher. And I did a one-page website, and it was with Microsoft Publisher and Microsoft Clip Art, and all I had was a picture of a lady sitting at a typewriter. I had my name, my phone number, probably my email address too, And that was about it. And back in those days, I didn't even have a domain name. I was just using our internet service provider and their web access and the email address that I had via them. So that's how I got started, was in 1996. And then eventually I started to learn how to create websites with, must have been Microsoft Front Page. So I advanced into Front Page, and that was probably about 97, 98. And then I had a client contact me, probably late 97 or early 98, and he was actually representing a hospital group here in Melbourne. And he asked me if I and some of my team that I'd already developed at that stage could work on 6,000 A4 pages of Word documentation to be uploaded to a database online on their intranet. And it needed to be done in HTML. And I said to him, well, I don't know HTML. And he said to me, I'll teach you. And he actually taught me how to use Dreamweaver. So this was, 97, 98. So he taught me how to convert an A4 page of Word into HTML and how to edit it with Dreamweaver and then upload it to an intranet. So I had to teach 6 of my VAs, or back in those days we were called home-based secretaries. I had to teach them how to do that same thing. And there were 7 of us working on this project for 6 months. So it was a really great project for 7 of us to work on. But by the end of that time, I really understood Dreamweaver a great deal. So then I started creating websites in HTML and with Dreamweaver. And I was doing that for quite a while. And then it probably would have been about 2001, probably around that time. I had a client asking me about blogs. Maybe it was a little bit later. It might have been about 2004. She started asking me about blogs. She'd been reading about blogging and all of that. Now, this particular client was always one chasing wild gooses. So I thought, okay, something else to learn. And I've been working with this client for a few years, and she trusted me and I knew her well. And that's why she asked me to investigate something I'd never done before. Ordinarily, I wouldn't recommend VAs to do something brand new with a brand new client. It's the quickest way to lose your confidence and the quickest way to lose a client. But because this client knew me and trusted me and understood that I enjoyed exploring things, she got me to explore, blogging. So I started doing it with Blogger, and which Google now owns, but back in that time it was a separate, system. So I was exploring blogging via Blogger and everything like that. And I was really writing very statically. I couldn't understand how to write on a personal level. I didn't even understand really that's what blogs were about. I really thought you had to write sort of very clinically. And then to really understand it, I had to learn to do it for my own business. And then I thought, maybe I'll do a family one for December that year. Because I used to type and send off letters to my family, Christmas letters, because my family live all over Australia. So I used to type and print off and send letters to my family. I thought, I'll do a family blog. So I did this family blog for Christmas. And I also wrote about our pet cat had gone missing. And then when he turned up a few days later, and they have to understand, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, Christmas is summertime here, and it gets hot and it gets dry. So for our cat to go missing during hot, dry weather, we were worried whether he had access to water and food and all of that type of thing. So when he rocked up 4 days later, he was thirsty, he was hungry, and he had an injured paw, and he was holding his paw up like this. And we had to find a vet. It was Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, and we had to find a vet. And the vet put a collar on his neck, and he was holding his paw up. And I took a photo and shared it on my blog. I wrote about this cat. Overnight, I had hundreds of people contacting me, wanting to know about our cat. People from over the other side of the world wanting to know about our cat. And suddenly it hit me how blogs should really be written, and on a very, very personal level. And so once I gained that understanding, I went back to my client and said, this is how we're going to do your blog. This is how we're going to work it. And then during that period of time, I started to understand too that a blog should really be attached to your website and not separate. And I'd also been learning about how to use WordPress. So I actually changed my website from Dreamweaver to WordPress and then installed a blog on my website so that it was all under the one domain, and started to build an audience. And probably around about 2005 or 2006, I hit the top 100 Australian bloggers list. I was one of 3 women. The rest were all men who were actually on this list here in Australia. And I thought, I'm starting to understand how this process works. So I've been blogging absolutely ever since, using WordPress ever since. I have over 1,000 articles on my own blog on vadirectory.net about the VA industry, how to use a VA, how to be a VA, mistakes VAs make, a whole lot of different things. And I include a lot of, personal interest in there as well. So I definitely keep my writing very personable instead of it being very clinical. So does that help give a bit of an idea?
Yeah, definitely. And do oh, we're getting feedback. I wonder why we're getting feedback. Can you guys hear the feedback from me talking? Oh, there we go. It's gone now. Yeah. One thing that made me, when you were talking, you said that you learned how to do this on a personal level, and now you're offering it as a service. And I know there's a lot of VAs out there right now that just have a LinkedIn profile. They don't have a website and stuff like that. But I want to encourage you to get a website and look at WordPress. Follow Kathie. Come to her session and listen what she's got to say about WordPress, because it's not that hard to learn. And first of all, if you have to buy or pay someone to build your own website, it's going to cost you a good $1. But if you can take the time, because you have no clients right now or whatever it is, to build your own website using WordPress with the resources that are out there. I know, Kathie, didn't you have a WordPress program at one time, or maybe you don't?
Yeah, no, I still do have it. I don't promote it a real lot because there are so many other WordPress things out there, but I do definitely have a WordPress training program, yes.
Yeah, but it's not that hard to learn how to do. And if you could learn it enough, practice on your own website, building it. Now you've got a couple of things, positive assets. You've got the fact that you have a website now that you can promote your services on, but you can also, you might have got enough training, or you can build on that training now so that you can offer maintenance services or things like that for clients, which is what you do probably as well, Kathie. You offer maintenance packages and things like that for your clients?
Absolutely, I do. Yeah, I've got clients that I work with on a regular basis on their website. So I maintain their websites, update their plugins for them, update WordPress for them, fix problems for them. Some of my clients like to write and publish their own blog posts. Other clients like me to do that for them. So yes, it's provided a whole new service that I hadn't originally intended when I started out operating my business. And as you do work on other clients' websites and even your own site, then you've got those as a portfolio to show other prospective clients. So, you're actually building up your portfolio as well. And, it's funny, I only ever thought I'd have one website. Well, I don't. I own multiple websites. Because I provide hosting service as well, it doesn't cost me to keep, paying out for more hosting. I just have to buy another domain, and domains are almost a dime a dozen. They're inexpensive, and you can own them, and they can match your business names or your own personal name or whatever it is that you're doing. So I have a blog about my virtual assistant business. A website and blog about my virtual assistant business. I have a website and blog about my WordPress, business, or my web design business. I have a website that's kathiethomas.com that actually outlines a number of the things that I do. So that if people are Googling my name, they find me. There are actually five Kathie Thomases spelt the same way as mine that show up on Google, but I take up the most of the first 2 pages. And I also have 2 photography websites. One of them's in WordPress. Another one's actually in a system called Photo Merchant, because I'm also a very, very keen photographer, nature and garden photographer. So one site focuses on garden photography, the other site focuses on nature photography. So, you know, yeah, I've got a number of them. I used to have a website about gardens as well, but I've let that one go.
And if you're into photography at all, guys, do follow Kathie, because she's got some amazing, like just a bird of some sort. There, you've got some different birds over there, and they're just so beautiful. And yeah, check out her photography websites too. That's why I thought, Kathie, I have the TawnyaSutherland.com, but I've never done any with. If you go to it, it'll say "Hello World." You know, it's just got a fresh install there still of WordPress. But you know, the plan is to do exactly what you've done with yours, and put all, you know, so if someone does Google my name, yeah, it will go there and they can see some of the different websites. Because, you know, I've got the VAnetworking.com, I've got my VA Insiders, I've got our VA Virtuosos coming up. And again, that's why we have Kathie here. And there is a link in the comments section, guys, vajot.com/17 Kathie Webb. There's also should be one to go get your free ticket. And Danielle, I'm pretty sure you're on board here. You can put that in. It's vavirtuosos.com/Kathie Thomas. And that's going to take you over to our website where you can get a free ticket to get into our prize draws. We've got over $10,000 in prizes. So it's worth it just to go over, even if you don't want to attend our event, but I know you will once you start reading the sales page and stuff. But yeah, you can get a free ticket into our draws. So go pop over there and check that out. So Kathie, you're going to be talking about some of the crucial things for virtual assistants that they should have on their websites. And I don't want to give everything away, but pick one that you think is crucial that maybe virtual assistants forget to put on their websites, or, you know.
Yeah. They frequently forget to say who they are. You know, they might put their business name or something, or they might say, I do this and I do that. They don't actually put their name. They don't actually say who they are. So if a client is going to contact them, they don't even know who they're addressing. So very important to put your name on your website. Let people know who you are.
Yeah. Now, would you do an about me page, something like that? Would you get, and do you get a little more personal on that, or do you keep it business-like, or is it a personal preference? What do you suggest, Kathie?
I think it's a bit of a mix. I think it's very important to give people an indication of your background. You know, hi, I'm Kathie. I've been, you know, working in this field for, you know, this amount of years. And if I told everybody how many years in the admin field, there'll be a lot there in this audience that weren't even born when I got started. But, you know, just, yeah, give your potential clients some information that can gain confidence in who you are and what you do, you know, what your abilities are. So it doesn't have to be a full-on resume, and you can link to your LinkedIn profile that actually gives an outline of that. But you want to be able to give your prospective clients some confidence in your abilities so that they want to contact you.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about your presentation, Kathie, because there's so many simple things that VAs forget to put on their website, or that is crucial to getting the clients. And I'll tell you one example I had a little while ago. Was I was helping this girl. She said, I'm never getting any phone calls for my virtual assistant website. And I said, well, what's your domain name? And this was a while ago, so it was something like her domain name was something like justaphonecallaway.com, you know, like something like that. And guess what? She didn't have on her website
a phone number.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? But it was something like that, like just a phone call away, or .com, or just, you know, something or other like that. And I couldn't believe it. I didn't have her phone number on it. But here's the thing, we look at our websites and you may not see them. And that's why, you know, I encourage you to come to classes like this, workshops like this, because it will teach you things that you maybe didn't know about your form, what you should have on your form. Or, you know, I'm trying to think of different things that like that are of interest. And the train's going by, guys. So I got 20 trains going by every day. So we're bound to have one in our Facebook Lives. But if it honks here, you'll know why. But yeah, important stuff to have on your VA website, because it is our storefront, right, Kathie? It's our storefront.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very important. So you need to make it easy for people to contact you. And I'll talk about a number of different ways that you can do that during my presentation. People don't know who you are, and so it's very important that you make it easy for them to know how to contact you and to find out what it is that you can do for them before they even do contact you.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people first starting out feel like a website's a lot of money. It's really not if you use WordPress. You know, WordPress is free, it's open source, but yeah, hosting and domain name, probably $125 a year tops.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it depends on what currency you're using, because costs can be different per country. But a website is an investment for your business, and if you're going to learn how to do the website yourself rather than engage someone else to do it, then it's also an investment in your time and your skill set as well. But there are other VAs out there like myself who can help, and like Tawnya, who can help new VAs with their websites and get things started. I know with my own network that I manage, Tawnya, I also offer low-cost hosting, and I install WordPress for my VAs who take up that low-cost hosting. And then I've even got a little ebook that explains to them how to use WordPress. And for those who have taken up my training course, I did a video probably about 3 months ago now, just walking them through the steps of WordPress, looking at the dashboard, how to use things, that type of thing, to help them, get on track.
Yeah, WordPress is the way to go. I know a lot of people are, grabbing Wix and doing it. They think, oh, this is free, until they want to put their PayPal buttons on their website, and now it costs them such and such per month to do that, or it'll do something else. And by the time they're done, they're paying $50-$60 a month to have a website. Right?
Absolutely. Well, I've actually got a chart that I'll be able to show too that shows a comparison of using WordPress, Square, Wix, and I think might be a couple of other different popular systems out there as well. But it actually, it shows you the advantages of using WordPress versus using any of these other things relating to costs, flexibility, and what's available, via those different programs.
Yeah, I love WordPress. I don't know how many years ago it was when we switched over, but we switched everything over. We have, there's so many things you can do with WordPress. I don't even know where to start, but so many add-ons, plugins that you can add to do just about anything you want done, from adding a contact form to, I don't know what we just did. We just added a plugin to redirect to pretty URLs,
Yeah. And you can even connect to MailChimp, use a plugin that'll connect to your MailChimp account. You don't even have to go into MailChimp to set something up for one of your lists. You can do it inside WordPress. It's great. It's flexible. It's easy for the beginner, and it's fantastic for the experienced user and for all those in between, because there's so much flexibility and so much you can do. And you can use the one theme and have lots of different looks, even with just the one theme, using things called widgets. So, there's just so much you can do with WordPress.
Yeah, and it's easy. It's just one click on our control panels and our hosting, and it installs WordPress. I'm sure there's other ways to do it too, but it's not hard. And then once it's installed, it might take a little while to get it looking the way you want, but you're always changing that anyways.
Absolutely. Well, I show, some of my VAs how you can actually be live with your website in one day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have all the bells and whistles and all the pages there. As long as you've got your home page, your about page, and even a contact page, 2-3 pages, you could be live in one day with your website and then, add to it after that.
Yeah. So all of you guys listening, hear that out, right? In one day, you can be live with your about page, your front page, and a contact form to get a hold of you, and so much more credibility. I love LinkedIn, and I know a lot of people have LinkedIn pages or Facebook pages, and that's great. That's good credibility too in the beginning, like while you're debating on what you're going to do for your website. But you really need to have a website for full trust and credibility online, because when people see that, they know you've invested in yourself, and so they believe you're a real thing. And
look, absolutely. And I'll just add something else too before we finish up soon.
Mm-hmm.
For those who have got a LinkedIn account and hopefully you've got recommendations, I encourage copying those recommendations over as testimonials onto your website. Now, the recommendations on LinkedIn are already public, so there's no reason why you can't do that. And if you link to your clients or the testimonial people's websites, you're giving them a bit of link love. But also, if something happens to that person on LinkedIn, or they don't use LinkedIn anymore, you lose that recommendation. So you've got control of it on your website. You don't have control of how long it's going to be there on LinkedIn.
And most of us virtual assistants are control freaks.
Yes.
But great tip to kind of finish us off, because I haven't even thought about that. There's probably all kinds of testimonials over there. I'm going to go grab them. You never know from one day to the next. Like, where's MySpace? We don't really use that anymore. If anybody even knows what that is, except Kathie and I here on it. I'm trying to think, Kathie. I really want to encourage you guys to come to see her speak. She's one of 20 speakers, November 5th to 9th. At the VAVS Virtual Assistant VA Virtuosos Seminars. We're online. Some great speakers we've got for you. Go check out that link in the comment section and sign up and at least get into our draws. We've got $10,000 worth of draws we're doing this week. That's free to get into, and do check out the conference as well when you're there, because it's only $37 to attend and listen to all 20 speakers, which, as I've been showing you, there's some great topics. Kathie's is WordPress workflows, how to quickly set up your website. And we're talking one day here, folks. You can get her done. I know you can. Any last thoughts, Kathie, before we hang up here and say goodbye? I miss you. To share with our viewers about whatever you like to share with us.
Yeah, I just want all the VAs there to think about their footprint on the web. Your website is part of that footprint. You want your name to be connected, to your website. When people are Googling you and looking for you, your website is something that is going to show up. And don't think that you can create it and then set and forget. Websites are a live document online. They need to be updated. Even my own website, vadirectory.net, and some of my other sites went through a complete refurbishment during the Christmas New Year break, the last Christmas New Year break. I get bored looking at my site, even though maybe others don't, and I like to give it a new look. And, WordPress is just so much fun to play with. It's addictive.
Definitely. Well, Kathie, thanks for sharing and getting up. Well, you've probably been up for a while, but it's early for me getting up that early in the morning. Thanks for sharing with us. And now I guess you're off to work, and I'm just about done work here. So
yeah. I'll start reading my messages and catching up with things and getting started for the day. Absolutely. It's 8:15 in the morning, Thursday morning here in Melbourne, Australia, and I hope everybody has a great day, evening, wherever they are.
Yeah, and to learn more about Kathie, stop over to her kathiethomas.com or go directly to her VA site, the vadirectory.net. Right, Kathie? Do I got that?
That's right. vadirectory.net. Yep.
Okay, thanks, Kathie. We'll see you all again at our next Facebook Live. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.